The Marvels was directed by Nia DaCosta and it stars Brie Larson, Iman Vellani, and Teyonah Parris. And this is the sequel to Captain Marvel. And this movie also takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame, Miss Marvel, WandaVision, and Secret Invasion. So in this movie, we have the Marvels themselves, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau. They found out that their powers have been tangled together. Whenever they use their powers, they start switching places until we have a villain coming named Dar-Ben, who has the second Bangled and wants to ruin everything. And now the Marvels themselves have to stop her. And now we got our movie. Now, with the Marvels, this is one of my most anticipated movies of this year because, this movie is also basically what this movie is being the sequel to Captain Marvel. Not only this movie is a sequel, not only this movie is the sequel to Captain Marvel, this movie is also the sequel to Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion, and WandaVision. Because with those three projects, those three projects have set up this movie. And I really appreciate that. Now, I heard negative or mixed reviews about this movie. Some people liked this movie, some people did not like this movie, or some people said this movie was okay. But for me, I thought I quite enjoyed it a little bit. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Spider-Man No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, I will talk about some things I liked, some things I didn't like. But starting off with the positives here. There were some moments I really, really enjoyed about this movie. And there were some parts I really did not enjoy about this movie. In this movie, having this film take place after Secret Invasion and Miss Marvel and WandaVision, those projects have set up this movie in particular. And with some characters like Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, and Goose coming back from the events of Captain Marvel, so good to see them again after the events of other projects that we haven't seen them. And Goose, so good to see Goose again after the events of Captain Marvel. It's been almost 4 years since the last time we saw him. And Monica, Monica, who we've seen as a kid, now is an adult in this movie as well. So I guess that's pretty much it. Let's talk about the actors and the characters themselves. Starting out with is Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. Now, with her coming back from Avengers Endgame, in the first Captain Marvel movie, so her powers, she found out that her power is being tangled from Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau's powers. Whenever she uses her powers, she starts switching places. And unlike Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, they start switching places as well. She's trying to connect with her niece. She's trying to connect with her niece, Monica, and try to apologize, saying I'm sorry for not coming back. I made a promise to come back, but something. And she's being called because Dar-Ben has been calling Captain Marvel the Annihilator at least a few times in the movie. But Carol actually explains why she's being called the Annihilator from Dar-Ben, but they don't really explain what I think they explained or didn't really explain what Annihilator means, which I wish they explained what it means in the movie, but but the good news is she did explain why she was being called that. But the only thing that I could say is I think that's it for Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I think that's it. But also, she has really good chemistry. One more thing I want to say is she has really good chemistry with Kamala and Monica. I like their chemistry, and their chemistry is really good in this movie. And I think that's it. And she has to put a stop to Dar-Ben, and that's pretty much it. And Brie Larson is fine in this movie. But I will say she did pretty good in this movie as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. And I don't think we're going to see her for quite a while, so I don't know, depending on the actress coming back or not. I mean, who knows? But I guess that's it for Captain Marvel. Next up is Teyonah Parris. Next up is Teyonah Parris as Monica Rambeau. Her coming back from the events of WandaVision. And not only that, she was a kid in the first Captain Marvel movie. And now, because of Teyonah Parris entered the MCU for the first time as Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, which came out 2 years ago. And now 2 years later, we finally see Monica Rambeau coming back from WandaVision and coming back for this movie, which I was so excited to see Monica Rambeau coming back from WandaVision, coming back from Captain Marvel, and seeing her in this movie. I mean, this is actually Monica's like second time, but mostly second time being in the movie, in the MCU movie, but first time as an adult being in the MCU movie. Yeah, because whenever she uses her, but with Monica in this movie, whenever she uses her powers, she starts switching places as well. Unlike Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, it's the same thing. Because she's not really connecting with her Aunt Carol. Is probably due to the fact about what just happened after the, because she's like, yeah, you promised you'll come back here. She tells Carol like, yeah, you were supposed to come back. With Captain Marvel leaving after the events of her first movie. Monica tells Carol like, you promised you'll come back, and otherwise she didn't. But with Monica, I was expecting her to be the best part of this movie, but otherwise she was a little bit of the best part of this movie as well. I was expecting her to steal every single scene that she's in. She gave a really good performance in this movie, and I really enjoyed her fighting moves in this movie as well. I did enjoy Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel's fighting moves, but also Monica's fighting moves as well. And I really like the fact that her powers have really good CGI visual effects. And I think that's pretty much it for Monica. And Teyonah Parris is really good in this movie as Monica, and I want to see what she does next in the Marvels and the rest of the other MCU projects, or at least some actually. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what she does next. And I think that's it for Monica Rambeau. And also, one more thing I want to talk about for Monica. She was not named she didn't get her superhero name Photon. I forgot to mention that. She didn't get her superhero name Photon because she was named Photon in the comics, but in the movie, she wasn't named Photon at all. I wish they put that in WandaVision or this movie for that matter, but otherwise, they didn't, which that kind of disappointed me. But like I said, I guess that's it for Teyonah Parris. Like I said, she's really good in this movie. I wish she gave her superhero name, but I guess that's it for Monica Rambeau. And next up is Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. And Miss Marvel did not disappoint me. Did not disappoint any MCU fans. It was her coming back from the events of her own TV show, which came out last year in 2022. And now a year later, we finally see her in her first MCU movie debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kamala in this movie, she's really good. Iman Vellani's really good in this movie as Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel all at once. She's really good in this movie. Whenever she uses her powers as well, whenever she uses her power, she starts switching places as well. She meets her idol, Captain Marvel, for the first time because she's a massive fan of the Avengers, and her favorite Avenger is Captain Marvel. Yeah, Captain Marvel's her favorite Avenger, and then she meets Captain Marvel for the first time. She teams up with Captain Marvel and Monica to stop Dar-Benn. And I think that's all I could say for Captain Marvel. But I'm not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. My bad. I get names wrong sometimes. But Miss Marvel is the best part of this movie. Every single scene that she's in, she steals every single scene, and she made this movie a lot more of a masterpiece, a lot more energized, a lot more fun and exciting. She makes this movie a lot more exciting. She impresses the audience and myself included as a Marvel fan. And I also meant to tell you, she did get a brand new suit. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of people say they don't like the new suit for Miss Marvel, and I'm like, look, remember Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Panther, they get brand new suits. Why not Miss Marvel given that chance to get a brand new suit? And then the suit that she has on does look pretty cool. Even though, yes, she does have the original suit that we seen in Miss Marvel, which I really good to see that suit again, but I really like the brand new suit that she has on. But the suit does look badass looking. And I think that's it for Kamala. And Iman Vellani is really good in this movie. Iman Vellani is really good in this movie as Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. And I hope we'll probably see what she does next in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, depending on the actress coming back, depending on scheduling if she does come back. But yeah, like I said, she will come back. I promise she will come back, maybe. Well, technically I wouldn't say maybe, but she will come back, I promise. But I guess that's it for Miss Marvel. I can't wait to see her what she does next in the MCU. And next up is Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. Now, Nick Fury in this movie, so good to see him again after the events of Secret Invasion. It's been a couple of months since Secret Invasion came out, since June. And now he comes back from Secret Invasion and comes back for the Marvels. And I thought he did okay in this movie, but I think, in my opinion, he did a lot better in this movie than he did in Secret Invasion. But there were some jokes that, I mean, with him in this movie, there were a couple of jokes that made me laugh, or at least one or two jokes in this movie that he made me laugh for. But there was like a few jokes I'm just like, okay, this is just getting stupid. Like, what was that all about? Now, I mean, Nick Fury was supposed to be a lot more serious, like he was in the past MCU projects that we've seen him in. But now today, it feels like he's a comedy relief of the movie, which that kind of disappointed me a little bit. But I wish he did a little bit better in this movie. He worked for Saber. He worked for this Saber. You know, with Saber. I mean, he's in Saber. He's been in Saber mostly since after the events, or mostly during the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, because he's been in Saber. Yeah, he works for Saber in space. He's been off planet after the events of, mostly after the events of Avengers Endgame, or mostly before or after, mostly after the events of Avengers Endgame and after Spider-Man Far From Home and No Way Home. And I think that's it. And what he does throughout the majority of the movie, not only he's working for Saber, he's also trying to protect Kamala's family to make sure they're safe. And that's pretty much it for that. And Nick Fury didn't really do much in this movie. That's all I can say. But he did like at least some things in the movie, but there were some things that he didn't really do much. And I think that's it. And Samuel Jackson, I thought he did pretty well as Nick Fury, but I think they did him a lot more justice in this movie than he did from the past MCU projects. But in this movie, he could have done a lot better. That's all I could say for that. And I think that's it for Nick Fury. And let's talk about Goose. It's so good to see Goose come back from the events of Captain Marvel. It's been 4 years since the events of Captain Marvel. I'm really happy to see Goose once again after the events of Captain Marvel. Goose in this movie, the only thing I can say is, it's the same thing. You know, he has tentacles coming out of his mouth. He's eating people. Yeah, he's eating people, like eating bad guys of some sort. Yeah, eating bad guys, and that's pretty much it. That's all I can say. And then we do see a couple of kittens, other kitten flurkins in this movie that also do the same thing as Goose. Yeah, take tentacles out of their mouths and eats people, or eats like something, like some stuff, some items, some people. That's all I can say for Goose. And Goose is really good in this movie. That's all I can say for Goose. And I will probably see him a lot more. We'll probably see him more in the future, maybe in the future, depending on which project we might see him in. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And I think that's it for Goose. Last but not least is Zoe Ashton as Dar-Benn. Now, Dar-Benn in this movie, Dar-Benn is not the best villain. I've been hearing negative things about the villain, and I was like, yeah, you guys are right. After when I saw the villain in the movie, I was just like, yeah, the villain is so weak. I mean, remember in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we had some, like, remember in the past from previous MCU projects, there were some villains that did me justice. There was some that didn't land for me. There was some good, some okay, and some are mad. This villain felt more mad for me. I mean, she's not like the accuser. Unlike Ronan, she does have Ronan's hammer weapon that we most likely seen in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. And I was like, where did she get that? Where did she get the weapon? No explanation. They should have explained where she got the weapon in the movie. I mean, I think they did, or somewhat didn't, but I kind of lost track a little bit from that. And I'm like, well, because of Ronan was actually the best villain in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, because he had the same exact weapon that she's holding on to. But Dar-Benn in this movie, that she has the hammer as well. I mean, come on. Dar-Benn in this movie, she finds a second Bangold. Yeah, she finds a second Bangold. She's trying to get revenge against Captain Marvel, probably from what happened after the events or during the events of the first movie, maybe, I don't know. But the only thing I can say is she calls Captain Marvel the Annihilator in this movie. She calls Captain Marvel the Annihilator without any explanation on what Annihilator actually means. I'm gonna have to look that up. So I don't know. But I think, in my opinion, she's not a good villain in this movie. I was expecting her to be a good villain after seeing her in the teaser trailer, but after seeing her in the second trailer, I'm like, yeah, she's not going to be a good villain. And it turns out she was not a good villain. She wasn't. I thought she was okay. But Zoe Ashton, I thought she was okay as Dar-Benn. I think with Dar-Benn, she could have been a better villain, but in my opinion, she was not a good villain. But I guess that's pretty much it for Dar-Benn, and I think that's it for the actors and the characters themselves. Now, talk about the action. The action in this movie is fantastic. I love the action sequences in this movie. I love the final battle. I like the final battle somewhat good in this. I like the final battle in this movie like I did and with the Captain Marvel movie. But with the final battle and the action sequences are pretty cool. I mean, there were some fight scenes I thought they could have done better with. The visual effects in this movie are awesome. The visuals are stunning. They felt more stunning. You could pretty much tell exactly what the visual effects actually look like, which I really do like in this movie. Now, I will say the plot, the storytelling could have been better. The plot of this movie could have been like somewhat better in this movie as well. I will say there were some parts, like there were like crazy there were moments of this movie that felt like fit for Miss Marvel season 2. Even though, yes, we don't have Miss Marvel season 2 right now, this movie feels like Miss Marvel season 2, in my opinion, is mainly because due to the lack of how brightful this movie is. This feels like a movie for a younger audience, which I was like, look, I get it because of Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel had the same exact tone. Miss Marvel felt like it's fit for a younger audience. And same thing goes for this movie. Do I have a problem with it? No. I mean, I get it because, with younger kids, they actually do want to I mean, with this movie fitting for a younger audience and older audiences, I feel like this movie could have been for all ages. I mean, it feels like it's an all ages movie, but it felt like it fit for a younger audience. And the movie does feel like a Disney Plus movie. It feels like a Disney Plus TV series, like it fits for Miss Marvel season 2. Like I said, we don't have Miss Marvel season 2. Hopefully we'll get Miss Marvel season 2 in the future. I mean, hopefully. So, it does, because due to what the tone looks like and the colorness in this movie, it feels like a kid's movie. It feels like somewhat like a children's movie a little bit, but not as much. I mean, it is a PG-13 movie. Can you imagine this movie being a PG movie? The first MCU movie to be PG? Yeah, that would be a major disappointment for me and a lot of Marvel fans out there. They'll be like, why did I make this movie PG? What is going on? Then I will talk about how disappointed I was with the final trailer. The final trailer spoiled one cameo in this movie. I was like, why would you do that? Because I think it's because they probably think the audience and the critics are going to hate this movie. And I was like, okay, the movie, I knew the movie was going to suck though. Now, I will say some of the jokes in this movie did not land for me. The jokes did not land for me. There were some jokes in this movie that disappointed me. I'm like, just stop. And the musical planet scene, stop. No, we don't need that. Like, what was that all about? What is a musical planet doing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Imagine a dancing planet in the MCU. I mean, kids will probably like it, but with all of us as MCU fans, as adults or teenagers, I don't think we're gonna like it. Maybe not. I don't know. But like I said, the Marvels is mixed bag for me, but I still enjoyed the movie a little bit. I did enjoy the chemistry. The chemistry in this movie, what I really like is the chemistry. The chemistry worked for me. I like the fact that Kamala, Carol, and Kamala, Carol, and Monica have awesome chemistry. They feel like sisters to each other of some sort. They do feel like a little bit like a sis. I mean, they feel like sister figures to each other, even though the fact they do work as a team of trying to find a way to stop Dar-Benn from destroying the entire world. And this movie might set up Avengers Secret Wars in the future. I mean, I'm hoping, even though, yes, we're going to get Avengers Secret Wars, which I'm really looking forward to. So Avengers Secret Wars was a comic book, and now they're turning it into a movie and turning it into the movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I'm really, really looking forward to. I mean, but I guess that's it for this review of The Marvels. Do you guys like this movie? Do you guys hate this movie? Do you think this movie's okay? But for me, I thought it was okay, but I still enjoyed Miss Marvel in this movie. Miss Marvel did a pretty good job in this movie. Like I said, I hope we will see more of Miss Marvel in the rest of the future of the MCU projects. depending on which projects or one project she might be in. So we'll have to wait and see. But I guess that's it for the Marvels. That's it for this review for the Marvels, and there's nothing much else to say. So be sure to like, subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below, and I'll see you in my next video. And thank you for watching.